All three men with the same idea. And that was stereo.
Enough! I have had enough with all of you! Do you understand me? I've heard it! I've heard it!
Holy smokes.
You look like shit.
You see the effects of that 60-minute Iron Man match still on the
back on.
still on the face of MJF.
We got Jungle Jabroni, we got Dangerous Darbs, the Incel Skateboard, and Mime, and we've got Sammy. In about 7 months, I'm going to propose to a new girl, Guevara.
Top of Wrestling with your hosts, OGM, the Professor.
Good shit. Late to every episode. Late so much, I'm going to have to buy you a pregnancy test.
Bob Roode.
I want to be a podcaster. Yay! His mama named him Kenta. I'm going to call him Kenta.
Dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcasting school is really paying off for you.
You're so high you don't even know it.
Ahoy, my boy. You ready for a Scotch ad?
We don't know anything about him. The only thing he's got in his wallet is a bunch of names of whorehouses.
That's Flair.
Probably look like Jim Duggan digging the tape out of his crotch.
Benoit, enjoy my wife.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
Oh my God, mine just stopped recording. No, we're good. We're still recording.
What a dick.
I'd cease and desist me. I'd cease and desist me hard. I need a minute to recover off that.
What kind of game is it?
War Games! Let a war game!
You are an impressionist.
Yeah, I know. That's the only thing I've said in the last half hour. Bark like a dog.
Oh, Jinx. Holy shit. How did that actually happen?
Here we go.
Good Wrestling Day! Ladies and gentlemen, ODM.
Wow, that was fast. I wasn't prepared. You caught me off guard. But not really. As usual, I struggle trying to figure out how to open the show. And there's something I wanted to talk about before we got into news, before we got into awards, before we got into This Week in Wrestling. So I'm just going to bring it up now, and we're just going to open up with a discussion. Okay?
Wow, this happened quick. Wow, we're firing in hot. I was making it a rib to throw you off guard. You're like, you know what? Since we're talking about this,
all that noise,
this is
Jack.
an intervention.
Yup. We have to have a talk, Mark. No. So, did you see that Omega is slated to fight El Hijo del Vikingo? You see that? Right.
I did. If you had taken a look at our notes,
I looked for it in there. I didn't see it, but maybe I just missed
Rampage. It was announced, fine. But yes.
Oh, Rampage. That's why. That's why.
To be...
That's why I didn't pay attention, because I don't look at Rampage, because nobody does.
My bad. I was trying to be astute with my news and in order.
Well, thanks for ruining it. No, that's fine. We can just talk about it now instead. I saw a fan take that I thought was really good, and it was great because it wasn't toxic. Like the IWC can be at times. It was very straightforward and to the point, and it was an excellent point. It was, I'm sure it's going to be a great match and all, but did anybody in AEW think that maybe you could have El Hijo on the show for a couple weeks, kind of introduce him to people that may not know him, because not all AEW fans are super marks? Why don't you just bring him on TV, show what he can do in the ring, introduce his character, tell us who he is, and then put him in a match with Omega? Doesn't have to even be a feud, but why don't we get to know this guy first?
And then at that exact point, you can build up viewership for that said Dynamite. Yeah. I mean, you have all these things that are coming up, I'm sure. You have, Spring Break, Beach Blast, all the stupid shit that they do in, February. Mm-hmm. So plenty of, or not February, they're not, Jesus
April.
Christ. That in April, they do all, these upcoming events that'll be leading into. Shit, you could even do it at your upcoming Battle of the Belts. Tell me one Battle of the Belts show that has ever done anything well. I mean,
terrible.
I think one of them had Adam Cole and Hangman Page.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For the title.
Yep.
And they went on first, which told me everything I needed to know.
Yep.
They opened the show with a Texas Death Match. So, yeah.
Terrible.
Did that picture come through to you?
It did. Holy crap.
So, long before we even hit record, I sent ODM a picture. I was like, well, did you see what MJF looked like on Dynamite? And when he took his glasses off, I don't know how much you can really kayfabe that one, pal.
No. And listen, I'll tell you what, I got a knot on my head once when I was a kid, and same thing. I look like a raccoon like a week later, because that shit will. If it's like right above your eyes, the blood just pools into your fucking sinuses, and yeah, you get that. On break, we'll talk. I've got an idea already.
How you want to put a knot into your head?
Yes.
Cool.
Obviously.
Well, hey, let's get official with this show. First, thanks for listening to us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look, we got a lot going on today, but also not a lot. A little bit of news, we got a little bit of results, and we got a little bit of the Monday Night Wars. And one of my favorite things is we are going to be talking Movie of the Week. This week, I am taking a page out of ODM's book when he did his take on Cabin in the Woods. I'm going to do kind of the same thing. I want you to take a ride with me on this week's movie. But let's dive into some news here. This one necessarily for me isn't news, it is actually, but I want to find out your take. It's kind of one of the biggest things. 4 weeks ago, was Elimination Chamber. The Friday night before on SmackDown, Bray Wyatt goes, and I'm going to face the winner of that match between Lesnar and Lashley. What? That's weird. And then Lesnar low blows Lashley, and that feud just stopped. To be honest with you, thank you. I think we understood. You know what? Some dream matches are not meant to happen.
Yep.
That being said, the push for Omos and Bobby or Brock Lesnar is happening, but we were seeing Wyatt and Lashley for a moment. We saw the Muscle Man dance, and that's it. And we are, from this recording today, 2 weeks away from, kayfabe pal, night 2 of WrestleMania.
Jesus.
So Bray Wyatt is nowhere to be seen on SmackDown the last couple of weeks. There's been stupid sightings. I saw there was a little moth, the Firefly moth or whatever, pick a little sticker or something in the background while LA Knight was talking to Rey Mysterio. What, are they going to reignite that feud again? I'm not sure. But there was reports that Wyatt has been dealing with a physical issue. I think the physical issue is they physically don't have him set up for anything at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so, part of me, my answer to this is, who gives a shit? That's my easy answer. But I'm going to save that because I'm actually going to use that for another piece of news.
Well, hang on. Wait. You're saying who gives a shit? We should,
but that's the
dude
problem.
Came back in October and we were going nuts. We're like, finally, he's going to get to do his thing. But October, how many months ago? 6 months ago, and he hasn't done shit.
He hasn't done
TV.
shit. Exactly. It was weird. And because one of the things that I said was, I was right, but I wasn't right in the way that I wanted to be. I said he was going to do something different. And boy, did he, but it was still more of the same. He should have went back to fucking Cape Fear Bray Wyatt. That's what we should have gotten, because he could talk. Now when he talks, yeah, he can talk, but I don't give a shit. All right? So, let's get down to what I think is actually happening. Man, I don't know. Because it's hard, because we don't know, because before it was, well, maybe Vince is fucking up his character. Maybe that's what's happening. And then he comes back and it's more of the same. So maybe it was Bray that was doing it. Maybe creative is like, okay, enough of this fucking nonsense. Let's get out of here. Or maybe Bray isn't getting to do what he wanted and creative is still just fucking him over. We don't know what the fuck is happening.
It's funny because... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
please.
I was going to say, and they're doing this whole Roxanne Perez thing where they're being real tight-lipped about it. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on with that and her. So with this,
it's kayfabe.
The injury. No, what happened? The fainting was kayfabe, but they're using it to cut her off of TV because something else is going on. But they're being very tight-lipped about it. So with this, who knows? It could be fucking all of the above for all we know. The fact of the matter is, I don't care anymore about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
and I'm glad he's off TV, and I'm glad he's not involved in a match with Lashley because. Lashley has actually been like a force to be reckoned with lately. Could they have booked him better? Certainly. But Bray, that experiment, that ship has sailed. and I'm done with it.
I will say, minus the excuse me, the flub of a storyline with Rusev, Lana, Lashley, and I forgot who else was. It was another guy involved. I don't even care. Or another girl. I think it was like Summer Rae or some random shit.
No, it was Liv. Remember, Liv did that whole lesbian. Why are you
Oh,
marrying
jeez. Thank you.
That was like
my
1
God.
week too, or it was like 2 weeks.
That's right. The single white female setup too.
It was so terrible.
Jesus. But besides that, he had a good feud with Sammy.
Yeah.
He was booked as the world champion. He beat Drew. I thought Drew was definitely going over at WrestleMania 37. Remember, it was the opening match that we had to wait for rain delays.
Yep.
Because of what was going on there. But all being said, I think he's been booked very well.
Hurt business.
Problem is, what do you do right now? And I think I read either an interview, a tweet, or something, and he said the words, I've worked too damn hard to not be there.
It was a tweet. Yep.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm 100% with
And
him.
he said, I'll take on anybody.
Yeah, and Bray is the reason that all of this is happening. Lesnar said, no, I'm good. I don't need to deal with witchery and stupid videos. You know, that's something else. You know, when he was Cape Fear Bray Wyatt, that's the wording we'll go with. Amazing. Think about his meeting with The Rock at WrestleMania 32. You have no idea, my friend, who you are dealing with. I mean, he was... It right there, it was like, okay, this dude is the next Taker. This is sick. And then you go to him with the 1 year later with Orton. And now we're like, okay, well, we're going to throw maggots and cockroaches in the ring and worms over on a projector. And then, next month, let's have it inside of an old beat-up fucking wooden cabin in the woods and pretend like that's my own house, and we'll have you set it on fire. That'll be fun. All that stupid shit. And then it got worse, and then it became more about
Then let's burn you alive in the
a
middle of the ring.
demented paranormal character. Can't you just talk, be the guy, go in, wrestle, goodbye? That's it. I don't need 10,000 characters. Who gives a fuck about Uncle Howdy, his Vince McMahon character, the Bunny, the Blade, the Butcher, all of it? I don't give a shit.
Ooh, there you go. He could go to fucking AEW and be with the Blade and the Butcher and the Bunny.
Might as well at this point.
And as Cornette says, the Candlestick Maker.
You know, I do got to say, as a quick little, I think we'll turn about people going to AEW. I have to say this now. I can't wait to talk about one of the debuts. And they're doing something in the exact same fashion that I watched someone debut, or seen a lot of the debut and how things are going to go. This is great. Anyway, the Bellas have officially quit WWE or walked away or just not renewing contract. I'm not sure what the term is that you want to use, but they are now the Garcias. I think one's a Danielson. I'm almost pretty sure. Maybe not. But yeah, so it's funny because people are like, oh man, they would fit in really well with the Outcasts. That'd be... Nope. They're not going to AEW.
Ray ain't coming home.
Yeah, their time in wrestling is done, I think.
Yeah, remember last time when I said I don't care? Yeah, that's my answer here. I don't care.
Oh, man, you're going to say that a lot.
Yep.
No, maybe not. On this next one, I don't think you will.
Nope.
Forbidden Door 2 has officially been announced, and that is June 25th. Good news, my man. I'm in town.
Oh, nice.
I'm working Jazz Fest again this year, so we may have to set up to watch this.
I think we can pull that off.
So the last year, you had FTR win the IWGP Championship or Tag Team Championships. Moxley defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi for the interim or vacant or whatever the fuck you want to call it championship because Punk had to drop it. Adam Cole that's where he got injured against Okada, Jay White, and Hangnail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And that's also where we had, which is weirdly enough, the match stealer of the night was Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay. But that being said, there's been a rumor that Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega 2 will be happening at Forbidden Door in June. Now, that would be the follow-up to what just happened in Japan. Kenny got the win in Japan. I could see Ospreay going over here. Make this a new trilogy that's worth seeing.
100%.
Last decent trilogy that we saw in singles, I really feel like, was Omega and Pac.
Yep, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
They had the All In, then they had
a Dynamite match, the Iron Man match.
Oh, yeah. That one, and then there was the one that was at, I think it was All Out. No, they didn't fight All In. It was All Out because it was supposed to be Moxley and Omega, and Moxley had like a tendonitis in his elbow or some shit like that. I don't remember.
MRSA, I think.
Yeah, so I'm down for that. I could see if FTR is making their way back, them having a match against someone as well. Right now, Okada is your champion, and we're going to get into some news a little bit later, but it would be interesting to see. But you know who I'd really like to see come over?
Mercedes Moné.
He's your never open weight champion right now, man. Wait, who'd you say?
Never open weight champion. Is that Carl Anderson?
No, my man. That is the man who beat Carl Anderson at Wrestle Kingdom, man. He still has the championship. That's the bad boy, Tama Tonga.
Oh, that's right, yeah. All right, so let's say Danielson Okada, hopefully, because we didn't get it last time.
Okay.
And then Tama Tonga. Who would be good for Tama Tonga?
Right now, he comes in as a face. That's how he is. You know who'd be great for him to face off against? Juice Robinson has been making his way into AEW as of late.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a Bullet Club face-off.
Sure, you could do that.
Or, man, I would take... oh, my God. You know who I wook take?
Who?
Go. Darby.
Darby would be good. I was going to say MJF.
Nah.
Look at nah.
No. And come on, man. You know me. I love Tama Tonga. And this is assuming that after Double or Nothing, that MJF is still the world champ. Is that kind of what you're assuming?
No. Just think it'd be interesting because MJF could just talk a bunch of shit and Tama would fucking fire back.
Could be good. I don't know. Let's see how it plays out. There's a lot of dream matches we could talk about. And remember, we made our own set of dream matches last year.
That was
and
hard.
I think not one happened. No. Maybe one at best.
You know what you're going to get? You're going to get Tama Tonga versus Chris Jericho. That's what you're going to get.
Don't bother meeting up, man. I got other shit to do in town. So I think this was... I'm glad that LA Knight, he's slowly just climbing up the ranks of someone I actually like.
He is.
I didn't realize his thing. Yeah. I didn't realize it until recently. And then I found some compilations on YouTube that are great. Was he
doing that in Impact too?
Oh yeah, he's been doing it for years. It's But some mark found an old picture of LA Knight. Two pictures of LA Knight and Becky Lynch together. One just side by side as a selfie. Looks like Knight's holding the camera. Second is where she is on top of his shoulders. Like if you were playing a game of chicken, they weren't in a pool. Just standing or whatever. And someone immediately goes, and this person who put the picture up, I didn't realize that LA Knight and Becky Lynch used to date. My mind is completely blown right now. And he jumped right on it. He said, because we didn't. You're jumping to bullshit conclusions, so let me squash this before you guys take this anywhere. God, I really fucking hate the internet. It's really true. If you see a selfie of me and ODM, what kind of conclusions... Never mind.
Yeah.
So, man, it looks like I added a lot of the news this week. Oh, shit. This never happens.
It's give and take.
Finn Balor did a tweet to Mick Foley. This has been pretty popular. A lot of people have seen it. I laughed. Hey, any advice? Because obviously he's accepted the upcoming Hell in a Cell match. You're asking a guy who actually never won one of these. Best thing to do is study all my Hell in a Cell matches and do the exact opposite. I kind of miss Mick Foley. The more I'm watching him on Raw now, I kind of miss him on TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be great. I get the Adam Pearce thing. It's all right. But he came out of nowhere and all of a sudden was just like, he's making matches. I'm like, that's cool. He was an NWA champion multiple times and whatnot, but no one knows him or gives a shit.
No.
It's like almost as worse than John Laurinaitis. You can't even boo him. You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who you are.
Right. Yeah, you know who he should be asking advice is fucking the guy that he's fighting in Hell in a Cell. He's got some experience too.
And he did make mention on Raw. He said, you can't even compete with the type of demons I have. Okay, we're getting Demon Baylor.
Oh, yeah.
Did one of us not say Hell in a Cell Demon Baylor? And then I said maybe we'll get Brood Edge. You go, it's been
gonna
done.
happen.
I know, but
yeah, no, I think that's already the plan. No, I'm serious. No, I mean that's what's being reported. That's
I'm
what
all
we're gonna
for
get.
it, man.
Oh fuck yeah!
It'd be cool if he came in the way he did at I don't know. I bet you WWE doesn't fuck around with dropping people from the ceiling anymore. I was gonna say the way he came in at WrestleMania 15 during the Hell in a Cell with Taker and Boss Man. They came down, him and Christian. I'm just saying that would be kind of cool, but I don't know if they. For some reason, I think they don't drop people from the ceilings anymore.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Thanks a lot, Bin Laden. I'm kidding. Saraya. Saraya was fined. She even put a tweet out. Yes, I indeed got fined for saying twat on live TV.
Twat.
Because she used the same wording that Ruby Soho used. The neck-bearded, fat, whatever. But this time she goes, all you neck-bearded fat twats. And I was like, yes, yes, yes. But why do you get fined for twat? It's not even a curse word in this country.
Well, right. And see, that's the weird thing. I mean, I'm not, and I won't say it, there's the C word, right? We'll see you next Tuesday, right? That just shows you how different it is for here in Britain, because in Britain, the C word.
Oh, cunt.
Thank you. Kayfabe, pal.
I'm sorry.
Kayfabe, pal. That's actually it can be a term of endearment. I heard Ricky Gervais telling a story about that. He's like, he was walking by one day and he saw a couple cops, and the cop looks over, he goes, "Hey, Mr. Gervais, you're a funny cunt." You know what I mean? So
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's so it's weird. Twat though, yeah, it's one of my favorite words. Twat.
If you go back to one of our hidden tracks from just about a year ago, my bowling alley, I used it. Told the girl she was lazy. Followed by a twat.
Oh, that's right.
This one I saw, I hated. It bothered me. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it a clickbait, but I'm going to go ahead and say this is bullshit. Enzo, or Real
One,
claims he was at the curtain call live. Man, I don't even know how old this kid is, and I'd like to know where he was living all through his youth and shit. He acts like he's from Jersey and all that shit, and from the Bronx, but I bet you he probably grew up in, like, fucking Virginia, and then they moved there when he was, like, 11. But please, go on. Let me hear this.
Yeah, so he was born in 86. The curtain call was in 96, so he would have been 10, so that part checks out. He did actually...
At MSG. You were at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and
okay.
And he was born and grew up in Jersey, so being able to make that wouldn't be much of a stretch. But again, it's fucking Enzo, so you're telling me this wouldn't have come up in an interview that you've done already? Like, this is just coming out now? Okay, bro.
I mean, all those years of, Dusty's my mentor. You could have very easily had been like, and I was there when the curtain call happened. I was like, yo, this is what I'm going to do one day. I'm going to wrestle. Bullshit.
Yep.
I just hate that he did it because no one could really debunk that. Like, come on, man. At that time, everybody was using disposable cameras. You can't tell me you didn't bring one and take a picture. I did.
Right.
Everybody looks like ants from the ring, but I don't give a shit. Took my pictures anyway. Danhausen tore his pec at Revolution.
How?
Good. I bet you it was probably doing his...
he didn't do anything.
He probably...
Yeah, right. Hey, you're cursed. Ah!
He wrestled at Revolution. He was a part of the tag team match with Orange Cassidy.
That's right, yeah.
There is a great picture, by the way. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was Lethal, Jarrett and both guns in a circle standing over one of the Acclaim guys doing a circle of scissoring. And you got to see the picture, and it's Aubrey Edwards in the corner looking disgusted as shit as they're doing it. I'm like, refs really don't get a whole lot of credit for when they're playing their part as well. I mean, besides holding the ladder. But I thought that was pretty hysterical.
Do you know, there was actually a live mic in the corner when she was doing that. Do you know what she was saying?
Oh, was there?
Do you know what she said?
No.
This is terrible.
Okay, you had me. You had me. Wow, that was really good. She didn't sing Dope Show?
Nah, she had too much peanut butter stuck on her teeth.
Jesus, I'm not even out of the news and I'm already dying here. Okay, 2 more things. Speaking of fun stuff, Davey Richards apparently is retiring amidst domestic violence allegations. He's married to Angelina Love, if you remember her from Impact.
Yep.
And, I mean, Jesus Christ, never mind. I won't make that kind of joke. Her face is plastic. Anyway,
he just thought he was
I
punching
don't know.
a milk
He
can.
just he ended up retiring, and a lot of promotions were already pulling him from events.
Yeah.
But he retired and said, "I don't want to put a black mark on any promotion that I work for." Blah blah blah.
Just women's faces.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying that's what he probably said.
Okay, so what I was going to say earlier is how much damage can you do? I mean, have you ever punched one of those old school 1970s or 80s babies dolls?
Yeah, again.
You break your fucking knuckle punching
He thought he
those
was
things.
just collapsing like a milk cart, a milk jug to get in the recycling bin.
But it's funny, though. He's retiring after people were already pulling him from the promotion. It's like, you're fired. No, I quit.
Right.
The last one, this is a giggle. Hey, man, how long has it been since I've been able to bring up not only Soraya, but Brad Maddox in the same set of news?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He has admitted that his wrestling career, his career with WWE, everything was ruined because he had an addiction to porn and sex. And I guess his addiction to porn is likely what led to his wanting to record him and Soraya and do all the things and have that 3-way with Xavier Woods, or the 4-way with the NXT Championship there as well. Man, I like to knock one back every now and then, but Jesus Christ, I mean, to lose your job over it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up. You know what's really funny? Just using this as a bridge to talk about Soraya some more. On social media, I've been seeing WWE posting, they're doing like a behind-the-scenes thing on Paige's run in WWE. Awfully weird timing.
Very weird. And she is a part of the biography, I feel like that's about The Rock coming up. And they show her and how The Rock got a hold of her for her family, for wrestling with my family, all that.
Yep.
And they're promoting that on WWE television while she's over saying twat on Dynamite.
Yeah, well, life is funny. Wrestling's funnier.
I guess it is. Well, hey, you know what? It's been 2 weeks in a row. Suck it, Buster. You haven't had any work to do. It's a good thing we pay you the least amount. Well, actually the most, as we talked about it, because
pretty much. Yeah, we're in the red. He's in the black at least. So yeah, hey, either we're doing really great or he's slacking. I'll take it either way. Meanwhile, fucking
let's talk about some wrestling, some moments of the week here. We're gonna get down. We actually had something a little bit on every one of the shows. So on Monday, as we already said, Hell in a Cell is set. Edge versus Baylor. Austin Theory uses the STF to defeat Dawkins.
That was pretty cool
on Raw. Yep, I'm okay with that. Very good, good moment. Cody Rhodes defeated LA Knight, And they did close out Raw with the Usos and Solo Sikoa beating down Kevin Owens, and Solo got the win. The best part of the night is where Lesnar almost made it over the top ropes from the clothesline.
3 tries, was it?
No, 2.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 3.
Well, I mean, he got it on try 2, if that helps. But
Okay.
I mean, look it. It's a big boy to throw over the rope. I mean, it's.
Yeah.
But then again, I almost am on Almost's side because I'm like, do you want to really push and manhandle him, or do you want to let him throw himself at the top rope? Because I seen what he did to Braun Strowman for just a little extra push.
Slow down.
I'll lightly throw him over. That's kind of my thought on it. I don't know, but it's going to be cool. He hasn't been able to lock in a German suplex. That's going to be a big thing. He's got it locked but can't throw him. So that'll be big at WrestleMania. It'll be a good, huge moment. Other than that, I have zero interest in this match. I have about as much interest in this match as I did when Lesnar faced Ambrose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that one was a shit show. Even some of the ones with Rollins. I mean, let's look back at some of Lesnar's more notable performances. You've got the one about against Goldberg. That was a 1.5-minute squash, which was interesting just because none of us expected that. So you had that. But then there's 3 matches, in my opinion, that any one of these guys could have beaten Lesnar, and it could have been a good storyline, and they were decent matches considering they're against Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and AJ Styles. All 3 of those matches were
Kofi
solid.
Kingston.
I remember Wheezy was actually over, and it was the first SmackDown on Fox, and I remember I had looked at Wheezy, and I'm like, listen, man, this is going to take about 30 seconds. Don't worry, we'll go out and smoke afterwards. Sure as shit,
Didn't even take that.
And he's like, that was gay. I'm like, it's exactly what I expected.
And we're not saying there's anything wrong with it. There's some things that it's anyway.
Yeah,
on
not that there's anything
Tuesday,
wrong with
NXT. Again, HBK living out his boyhood dreams again. An NXT women's title match is now set for Stand and Deliver, and it's a ladder match. And it's because Perez is dropping the title or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Kayfabe or not kayfabe wise.
Yeah.
Dynamite opens up with the Reba Mitzvah of MJF. Comes out. Has a lot of girls. They all kind of give a kiss on the cheek. Last one he makes out with pretty hard. Gets in the ring. Balloons everywhere. He's all dressed up like a pimp. And then as he's getting started, first comes out Jungle Boy, then Sammy Guevara. And I go, oh, please do it. Please do it. And then dun 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 bum bum. I go, oh my God, yes! This is the first time we've had all of the 4 pillars in the ring at the same time. And I literally wrote this on the side here. Where the fuck has this been? Where has this been? I mean, okay, fine. I like the build. At the same point, holy shit. I absolutely hope Double or Nothing is 4-way match.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess, I hate those fucking matches, but the thing is with 4 of them...
For these 4 guys?
But these 4 guys, and the thing is, on the lead up, they could all interact, crossways. You've got 2 faces, you've got
MJF
2 heels.
MJF and Guevara could tag together against Jungle Boy and Darby. You have a singles match between Darby and Guevara, or anything, or even, Darby and Jungle Boy one-on-one.
Yeah.
In a lead up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
forcing
saying?
them to
you
face
got
each
time.
other. Yeah. MJF could be like, ooh, I talked to Tony, and I said, you know what? You guys are 2 of the 4 pillars of AEW. You guys should fight each other to see who's really on top. Yeah.
And the match doesn't have a winner because Guevara gets involved.
There you go.
See, we should put our resumes
missed
in.
opportunity. We should
and be like, hey, we have a line on Adderall too, if you need.
I used to.
Not really. The best part is when MJF got so pissed off, he took off his sunglasses, and the picture I've already referenced, how his eyes looked in his face. Darby, Max, you look like shit. It was just real. I was like, thank you. Good stuff. It was great. The lines that Darby used, talking about dropping out of school. because he'd rather be himself than what the teacher or everybody else wants him to be. And when he got to AEW, the only reason he's here and wants to be here is because he can be what he wants to be. He can't be what he wants to be everywhere else. Hey, man, I think that's awesome. But then he goes, and if you won't, give me this shot, I'm going to take my skateboard and beat it out of you. I was like, oh, my God, I just love it. I'm going to lose my mind the day Darby Allin wins that championship.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think you... Why can you not? Why does MJF have to have a long heel Roman Reigns kind of title reign? Ric Flair won and lost 16 times. 17, technically. 17 losses.
Yeah.
But my point to that is, why can't MJF just pick the title right back up in about 6 months from Darby?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, my family are being a bunch of fucking hooligans, so I apologize for the background noise. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, with Darby, I think it's just tough just because of his size. You can make him a transitional champion. I agree with you with MJF. It doesn't need to be a long reign. Yeah.
He's homegrown. I mean, not homegrown Darby, but
yeah,
homegrown enough from the very beginning. And most people who didn't know him, I didn't know Darby Allin at all.
Me neither.
Until one of the very first pay-per-views that they did, and it was those hardcore matches. And then he had matches against Cody, and it just kind of progressed. And I was like, this guy's really fucking good. So I think it would be well overdue. My point is this: if you gave it to Hangnail, you definitely could give it to Darby.
No, I don't disagree with you fucking there.
Who's the first person the CM Punk wanted to fight? Darby Allin.
Yeah, it's fucking A, man. And it was a good match, too. Fucking solid match. I gotta tell you, you just brought up...
love the part where Darby does his coffin drop and Punk just sits up at the last second. God, it was so good.
You brought up... I'm going to do my weekly Cornet reference here just because you brought up CM Punk. On the drive-thru, this past drive-thru, that's the one where they all do song submissions from fans. Some of them are fucking fantastic. Some of them are dumb. This one guy did one. It was like 6 minutes long. They didn't play the end, but this guy does a soul song. His voice is beautiful, but it's basically like an old 70s soul-style love song to CM Punk. Basically, you've gone away. You're never coming back. Why did you hurt us like this? It's fucking great. It's fucking great. You got to check it out. Just skip ahead to the end of the episode and listen to it.
Speaking of song and then Cornet, I do like the... what do you see? A sausage egg with big old cheese, or egg and cheese, or however he
does.
He likes to fuck around with cult personality. I love that.
The cult of meat with extra cheese.
That's awesome. Blackpool Combat Club is just straight up heel. They are beating the living shit out of Dark Order and Adam Page. That is an ending. I guess we're going to keep going. What's weird is that the end of Dynamite had all those guys plus the Elite. Are we about to get another Blood and Guts or one of those big arena matches like where Kingston was a zombie?
I don't know. Probably. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I mean, fuck it. Who cares? He can go back with those bitches. I say let Omega leave. Fuck. Have Omega turn on the Bucks and Page. I'd love it.
That won't happen.
Of course it's not going to happen, but,
not after they got in a fight with Punk and he was carrying the dog, and there's a lot happening, man. Jade Cargill retained against Sky Blue Vodka. That's what I'm going to start calling her. Or no. Yeah, I don't know who. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sky Blue Vodka was later in the night. My bad. No, it was another jobber. And she goes, is that the best thing that you guys have here in Canada? Is that the best you have? And then Taya Valkyrie comes out. Decent pop. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Another one. We're just going to pick them up and do the same thing. And you know what, man? She has the same exact setup that Keith Lee had. You appear on a Dynamite. Your first match is on Rampage 2 days later against a nobody. That's exactly what happened. Taya won in her debut match. Now, I got to say something. I beat on her face a lot. I don't mean like Davey Richards style. I meant like I made fun of her quite a bit. Because I was like, God damn, she's just not really. But You ever see someone that has a lot of goddamn like lip injections, a lot of face injections, all that shit, and then finally once it settles, you're like, oh, okay, all right, you're okay now. I think the last year or two of being away from seeing her, I'm like, okay, she's a little bit better looking, I think now. I don't know. I think the balloons have deflated a bit in the face.
I thought you were going to comment on her in-ring style, but no, we can make it superficial.
Well, no, I'm going back because that was my thing. Is I was like, I can't look at her. She's just
I got
it was like a giant duck.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
terrible.
I got to be honest though, kind of like it. Kind of like her being if she could be the one that will step up and take Cargill's title. Problem is, I thought Athena was going to do it. Problem is, thought Ruby was going to do it. I mean, we've been thinking for a while. This chick is 50-something-0 against people who she's beaten 6 times apiece.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're in Goldberg numbers, and it doesn't matter because Taya Valkyrie, should she really be challenging for the TV title? Shouldn't she be going for the world title? But, I mean, again,
at this point, thank you. How is she not being like, I should be the one taking on Jamie Hayter? How is that not the first thing out of your mouth?
Yeah.
Undefeated well over a year. I digress. I mean, even Goldberg, we're going to see wins the U.S. title and then is like, well, fuck it. I think I want the world title too.
Yep.
Because then, I don't know. QTV, that's, QT Marshall, he showed his staff, because it's like a TMZ kind of thing, them all sitting around talking. It's horrible. And he shows his staff that they broke into the car, Wardlow's car, to take his championship and everything. So, I was going to ask you, is this a playoff or has this been a work all along? I think it's a playoff. Never mind. I have that under control. They're trying to... Yeah. Someone really did break in.
That's what I mentioned last week is they're just going to spin this on its head and say, yeah, it's all part of the storyline. No, it's not. You're just taking advantage off of it.
My God. You really did say that last week.
Of course I did.
I didn't think they were going to go this far. I thought it was just the whole Hobbs is like,
Adderall's hell of a drug.
You lost. Speaking of, he's no longer Orange Cassidy to me. He's Orange Cena. This dude could get the living piss beat out of him, and he still gets his Superman punch and his other whatever fucking things he does. This guy is now your international champion. He defeated Jeff Jarrett. Orange Cena.
Yeah.
Adderall's a hell of a drug. But on the way to the ring, the best part, the only thing I really enjoyed
I saw it.
was Orange Cassidy's on their way to the ring, and he looks over, and a dude is dressed just like the Shockmaster.
Fat as him, too.
Dude, what's crazy is how stupid whoever it was, I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen. They're like, oh, he's like a storm ship trooper or whatever.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That's the mask.
And the guy goes, or it's kind of like, the Shockmaster. I was like, how did you not catch that? That's one.
Well,
like,
the fucked up
non-wrestling fans know the Shockmaster thing.
Right. Well, see, it's fucked up because the mask that the original Shockmaster used and that this guy used is a Stormtrooper helmet. That's exactly what it is. But yes, you're right. On a wrestling program, you start with the obvious nod. Do you know who said Stormtrooper on commentary?
I think it might have been Taz.
I was going to say, it better not be Shivani, considering Shivani was probably an announcer when that whole angle went fucking down. He might have been the one doing the interview.
Oh my God, he might have been. Now I got to go look that up. The Outcasts. Sorry. They're in the ring. So that's, they're out there bitching, calling people twats. And then Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker come out, and as they're getting their beat down on them, out comes Hijo, Willow Nightingale, and Sky Blue Vodka. That's who it was. Are you laughing at my Sky Blue Vodka or something?
I am laughing about Riho. Just because, I'll let you finish this up. I got to find this, and then we're going to go back to Riho real quick because it's too fucking
Well,
fun.
Funny thing is that she came out holding like a bar, like a big metal pipe or something like that.
It's probably bigger than her.
And it's funny because I saw a mocking thing. It was a picture of Sting holding the bat against someone and then her holding the bat in the air. And it said, same vibes.
No.
But I did hear that Eddie Kingston, he recently quit Twitter. He got pissed off and quit Twitter because of some of the hate that Riho's getting.
So that's kind of what I was getting to.
Oh, you're about to be like, you want to hear the sick tweet I tweeted at Riho, being like, ha ha ha.
Well, no. So Cornette fucking trended on Twitter. We should just call this fucking podcast the Jim Cornette Appreciation Podcast. Jesus fucking Christ. So
wait, but it would still be the JAS.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. Dude. So
Oh my
Cornette
God,
does,
it wouldn't be a JAPS, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Cornette trends every once in a while on Twitter just because he says something, and the fucking, the international wrestling community, again, they just fucking go ballistic, and they gotta talk shit. And of course, I can't fucking find it now, but here it is, perfect. So he trended without even saying anything. When Riho showed up on Dynamite, everybody starts going out, fucking Cornette's always talking shit about Riho, blah, blah, blah. Fucking everybody goes nuts. So this fucking guy, and Great Brian Last, the guy from, it's Cornette's co-host.
Yeah.
Posted an email that they got for the podcast, and this is fucking great. I'm just emailing you to say fuck you to you and Jim, and fuck you that good for nothing Brian Last. You sold dead crusty old cocksuckers need to shut the fuck up about Riho. Especially you, Jim, you four-eyed prick. Apparently you have blocked me on Twitter because you don't have the balls to hear the truth to your fucking face. Okay, so hold on, I want to see. I hope they get ass cancer. Hold on, wait a minute. Shut up. And then the last line, it's just fucking on. And the last line of the email says, shut the fuck about Riho, fuck faces. Bro. It is one thing, okay, you want to accuse somebody of like vitriol and just being a cancer and whatever. Again, we see it a lot in the international wrestling community. You can also be truthfully critical about somebody like Riho. Perhaps she is good in the ring. But maybe she'd be better suited off wrestling in Stardom with people in her own weight class. I never believed her beating Nyla Rose. That was a travesty. She does look like Omega's fucking fantasy. We all know.
It looks like the 9-year-old girl that he fought in... Oh, it is.
Which it is.
I feel like, size-wise, wouldn't do too bad in WWE. With your Tegan Knox, your Io Shirai, even your Baileys, things like that. I'm saying they're smaller. They're not your Nyla Rose and all those other girls.
Why don't you just put her in the ring with Nia Jax?
My hole! It's the last thing I really can remember. She showed up to the Rumble. That means nothing to me. That's my lasting impression of Nyla Rose.
It's the best thing she ever did was Nia Jax was my hole. That's the best thing she ever did.
Gun to your head. Nyla Rose or Nia Jax?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we at the Top of Wrestling would like to apologize for the unexpected interruption. We are experiencing technical difficulties and expect to return to our normally scheduled podcast momentarily.
So, Ring of Honor on Thursday, that produced a little bit of fun stuff here. So, Mark Briscoe and Samoa Joe, it's official. They're taking each other on at Supercard of Honor for the TV title. There's no way. Well, I can't say that. Never mind. I mean, come on, you got to put Briscoe over. I mean, the crowd is going to be...
I would think so.
We don't have a World Championship match set yet, but it is still looking like it's going to be against Eddie Kingston. Claudio defeated Willie Mack. He's been in Ring of Honor as well as Impact. The last real man, Silas Young, is back. Dude, I'm a Silas Young fan. I loved him in Ring of Honor. And it's his first match with Ring of Honor since the Final Battle, December 21. This for him, I mean, he's done a couple of things. I think he showed up in AEW once or twice, but really hasn't done much. But this dude he's a... Man, OG strongman. That's why he's considered like the real last man. Like it's, I don't know. I'm a fan of his. I'd like to see if they use him in any way. I'd like to see him. I mean, he was a TV champion, I feel like, at one point too. Get him back in the mix. He's a good wrestler, good heel. People love to boo him because he just has that look on his face. The most shocking one, Wheeler Yuta challenges Katsuri Shibata for the Pure Championship for Supercard of Honor. Now, this works great because most Pure matches are a lot about your submission moves and trying to escape or break those rules so that you can, use the ropes if you want to at the end. But that works perfect for him because he doesn't have to take any really, really hard bumps. He hasn't, I've seen him do a little bit of wrestling, but most of it is your mat style, like trying to get the submission on, almost like your UFC with no fight, with no punching. So basically amateur wrestling. That's what he's going to be doing with Wheeler Yuta, which I'm okay with. But I'm also like, it's not the OG Shibata I was used to. I'm like, just
right.
I'm not sure if I like it anymore. This kind of weird to say, but also on Thursday, Impact TV, it's the first time I'm bringing something really important in here. Vladimir Kozlov showed up because Santino, again, is in charge. He's the director of authority. And he brought his old pal, Kozlov, with him. That's exciting stuff. And then we had a doubleheader on Friday. First was SmackDown, because obviously more important than Rampage. I called it. Sheamus and Drew goes to a double DQ as Imperium gets involved. The most famous GM of all time, Adam Pearce, hops on the mic and says, or on the big Titantron, and says it's now a triple threat set for WrestleMania.
It's official.
I am so excited about this match. You have no idea. It's going to be just so many hard-ass chops, kicks. I hope Gunther, I've been catching, they call him Gunther a lot more. Been catching it. A couple of times they've been saying Gunther. Can we go back to Gunther, or is it supposed to be still Gunther?
I guess it's just a matter of opinion. Tomato. All
right, well, Gunther, I want him to do at WrestleMania what he did against Tommaso Ciampa. Go to slap someone's chest on the table, and when they move, you beat the fuck out of that table right there when you slap it. That was one of my favorite moments. Was it Stand and Deliver a couple years ago?
It was one of the pandemic shows. I remember there was no crowd.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes pleads with Kevin Owens, you gotta forgive Sammy. Dusty's my dad. I feel like that's pretty much every fucking promo with his is something about Dusty. Like, literally, Dusty comes up in every promo. And it's okay, baby. I almost just kind of hope that in the biggest fuck you ever, Roman retains. I just kind of feel it would be funny if Roman retains at WrestleMania. I don't know why it would make me laugh, because it's so expected that Cody's going to win, that if they pull that trigger.
Well, you know what would be cool was if they were going to do that, you have, like, the next night, him win it. Cody, something happened at Mania. He got screwed. They didn't call it, but they realized it on Raw, so they rectify it. You're going to get, another shot in the main event tonight, but it would have to be at Madison Square Garden, just because that's where they fucked Dusty. So it would almost make more sense to have him win the title at MSG. So,
is it in MSG the next night?
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It would have to be. It would have to be, is what I'm saying.
They haven't, dude, I can't remember the last time they did a show in Madison Square Garden.
It's been a long time.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That was the Mecca,
It is the Mecca,
place to go, man. Oh, man. But his pleading worked because while Sammy and Jay were in the ring, oh my God, stellar promo. I trusted you. I didn't like it. I don't take anybody. Family's everything to me. And I was against you. And then everybody loves you. Everybody. And then I finally let my guard down. Oh my God, Jay deserves a goddamn Oscar. He is amazing, or an Emmy. Like, he has been just fantastic. He looks real. You know what I mean? Like, when he's talking, it's him amped up. And as the Usos are beating the shit out of Sammy, Owens' music hits, and Usos are doing the staring at the Tron. I go, oh, he's coming from behind, and he comes out, pulls down the zipper on his hoodie. Shows the KO shirt, which I was kind of hoping it would be a Sami Zayn shirt for some weird reason.
Yeah.
He did that unzip. and crowd goes nuts, and they start, rallying together. The crowd earlier in the night was chanting with the Cody thing, hug it out, hug it out, hug it out, and they weren't. And then during this, they keep chanting hug it out with seconds left to SmackDown. And Owens walks over in a quick rush to go hug him and does the hug, and the crowd goes nuts. But Sammy looked like weirdly hesitant, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, was that supposed to be? You're supposed to like that? I'm like, or did Owens do something on the fly with that hug? You know what I mean? Like, because the crowd was chanting hug it out, like, shit, let's give them what they want, pop. Just the way Sammy looked a little like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Okay. It seemed, or it was the part, like, you should be like, okay, I'm surprised you actually really are on my side. But what's great is someone had a take on this. Sami Zayn, no matter how you look at it, I sent you that picture, right? The last 5 years of Sami Zayn, all going from when he helped Owens defeat Shane McMahon in Hell in a Cell. That's when he made his big heel turn. And everything from the controversy guy, or the conspiracy guy, everything when he did the electric chair. You could have asked me about AEW. Ooh, I love that moment. Everything that he did in Knoxville, and then, of course, Bloodline. Yeah, he's over right now. But did he say he's a face? You know what I mean? Like, no one ever really says I'm a face. And he goes to Owens, and he goes, and you need to know, I love you, when he was by his car. And I go, this is no different than the I acknowledge you thing to Jay. You know what I mean? You're playing your cards. He's a heel, and he's just still using people to get what he needs right now.
Could be.
It's not a bad take.
Yeah.
And, dude, imagine this. They do go to face the Usos at WrestleMania and lose, and he kicks Owens in the dick.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, these guys love working together, so, I wouldn't put it past them.
I'm all for it. But it was a good moment to end SmackDown. Look at the march towards WrestleMania in some ways are kind of looking good. Rampage, the open challenge for the TNT Championship came out, and it was Rey Fenix against Hobbs. Hobbs won, of course. Taya Valkyrie made her in-ring debut. And, of course, the announcement of Omega taking on Vikingo tonight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is tonight.
Did you say?
I didn't know. Oh, God damn it. You're fucking dickhead. Jesus. This is going to be a long-ass show.
Yeah.
What up? You said, you had a question?
Oh, no. It sounded like you said the Viking tonight. The way you made it sound like you were trying to be clever with the name. Never mind. Moving on. Next slide.
Do we need to do another difficulties bumper?
Sure.
So the New Japan Cup this past weekend came to more of a close as the quarterfinals and semifinals happened. So on this past Friday and Saturday, Mark Davis, who's of Aussie Open, he replaced Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay has, I believe, a shoulder injury. And Will defeated his own stable member to move on to those quarterfinals. So it's not like he just chose his own guy. It was the guy that he defeated in that last round, so they let him go on. At least it made sense. I like how they did that. And Mark Davis defeated Evil. I was kind of shocked by that one.
Yeah.
And then Sonata defeated Naito. And then not only defeated Naito, he said he is done with Los Ignobles. Yeah. He's done with LIJ. And he said, because I'm never going to be able to be anything other than just in your shadow, everything like that. I want to get out. I want to make my own. There's a group in New Japan called Just Four Guys. Taka Michinoku's in it, by the way. And now he has joined Just Five Guys. And I'm not kidding. They literally changed the name to Just Five Guys now. So they are now Just Five Guys Burgers and Fries is all I can think
Just
of.
Five Guys, man. You'll go broke in a week. Shit is taxed.
Sounds like a sausage fest to me. Tama Tonga, the next day on Saturday, defeated Hiroki Goto, and then David Finlay, who's in the Bullet Club, defeated Shota Umino. So, the semifinals take place, and Sonata, as I had a feeling would, defeated Aussie Open's Mark Davis. And, of course, I'm going to be a little upset about this one. I had to be. But David Finlay defeated Tama Tonga. So now the finals are set. And, of course, when we're recording, we're not going to be able to catch that because it's going to be the day before our show. But it is Sonata now taking on David Finlay in the finals for the New Japan Cup 2023. The winner generally goes on and does get to have a match against your world champion, not for the championship, just as a, it could be like a title eliminator, if you will, because I do remember that Will Ospreay won this one year, went on is just a one-on-one match. He was the junior heavyweight champion. He went on to face Okada one of the years. I'm going to go ahead and say, since he just changed to work with the fast food chain, I'm pretty sure Sonata is going to win this one.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Is someone breaking into your house?
Exactly. Yeah, let's not even get into it. Finlay, I mean, it's the whole Bullet Club thing. Isn't Finlay the one who just declared himself the leader of the Bullet Club? Somebody
I think so, considering,
yeah.
I mean, Jay White's gone. Juice Robinson is pretty much gone. Right. Even though a week or two ago he came out to the Bullet Club theme song on Dynamite, but tomato. Yeah, he is, and he's saying he wants to be better than his dad ever was. Fit,
yeah.
He's young enough to be at this point. I mean, kid can't be anywhere near 30.
Best, that's still a high bar. I feel like, but who knows?
Okay, all right. Look, besides the fact that he's a good, decent road agent, what has he really done in his career that Fit Finlay was like?
I think it's more
it's
just
going
about
to be pretty
pedigree
easy. That's
and
like if your
longevity.
dad was Brutus. If your dad was Brutus, fucking
that's
Beefcake,
an unfair comparison. That is an unfair comparison. Who did Finlay have the match with in the parking lot where they just destroyed each other on cars?
Anybody. It's every match he's ever done is just destroying himself with a bunch of. That's like saying. Never mind.
Stop talking shit about Fit Finlay and move on.
Hey, I will say you did get one thing right. Ric Flair is the one inducting Great Muta into the Hall of Fame.
Told you. That's two I got right.
Yep. Add it to the doc right now. Right now. While I tell you that also at the New Japan Cup, you're also going to get, for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, Hiromu Takahashi is going to be defending against the man who is the Mick Jagger of wrestling when it comes to retiring, Lio Rush. I don't care.
Yup.
But let's talk about what we got so far for WrestleMania. Ones that are in stone. Again, we got Roman versus Cody. We got Cena versus Theory. It is official. Gunther versus McIntyre versus Sheamus. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. We have Bianca Belair against Asuka. The Hell in a Cell is set with Edge versus Finn Balor. Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Damage Control taking on the the 3-woman team of Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch. And I almost don't give a shit about this entire pay-per-view because it's going to be Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. But rumored and not set are Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley. I almost want to take that one completely off the books.
Yeah,
now.
right.
And then, of course, we do have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to be hopefully taking on the Usos. It's a lot of stuff. Not bad so far. But hey, man, I can't wait to talk about something that you made me bring to the table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
When I stole that championship belt a couple weeks ago, it was about respect. It was about taking what you feel you earned. My life ain't always fair. And I'm from right here, Ohio. And you people know life ain't always fair. You can't get a car loan because on a technicality, you don't have a good enough credit score. So now you gotta walk to work, your children gotta walk to school on a technicality. Your boss pushes you around even though you're better at his job than he is, and he talks to you like you're an idiot, but he's the boss on a technicality. So then I took that championship. It was about screw technicalities. It was about taking what's yours, what you deserve, what you feel that you earned, what you know in your heart and your soul that you deserve, that you earned. It was about just taking it. But I'm a grown-ass man. And I lost fair and square tonight. I climbed that ladder, and I didn't like what happened when I came down. I lost fair and square, and I'm man enough to admit that. So I'm gonna fix this leg, and I'm gonna stand up on my own 2 feet again. And one day, I'm gonna be world heavyweight champion, and there ain't no paperwork, and there ain't no technicalities, and there ain't no bullcrap that's gonna stop.
A little bit of a different twist on how I'm going to do that. Bring it to the table. You know, you have not only our intro, but I had to put the sound in there. As you likely tell, that was Dean Ambrose. This was him post losing the ladder match against Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. And I believe it was 2015. And it was there in Ohio where he is talking about how everything in life is on a technicality. And Jesus, that just hit home. I mean, I don't know, like the one it's the most, I think, impactful for anybody. Really, you know, your boss, you're better at his job than he is, but he has it on a technicality. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. It was a really, I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
I never have seen that. I don't know why that is complete. It's probably one of those things that's like...
off the air.
Do you want to... Yeah, it was off the air after the event. And to me, I'm like, hey, thank the crowd. Meh, 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 whatever. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'll move on. I don't care. I didn't watch it back then. Seeing this now, it was good time. Good. It was just the right thing to see. Glad you shared that with me this week.
Yeah, it was a fire promo, and I wish we got more of that in Jon Moxley instead of eating bones and drinking blood.
What did I tell you in that right after? What was my very first response? Do you remember?
I don't remember, no.
Dude, I think I like Ambrose way more than Moxley.
Yeah? Well.
And I didn't think I would, but take away his I don't want to be around germs part of his career, that 2019 spot or whatever. Other than that, okay, I think I like Ambrose again. After seeing Moxley just bleed. Oh my God, I saw a funny meme. You know those ones that when you touch the thing, it shows you something funny at the bottom of it. It says, here's a picture of Moxley. Touch it. It made him bleed. Between that and the Kevin Nash tearing a quad, those are some good ones.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What are you bringing, my man?
All right, as usual, I'm doing something, and my eye catches something. I'm like, that's what I'm going to bring to the table. Well, that's pretty much what happened here. I was just on YouTube flipping around,
joy.
And I got a suggested video, and it was from a YouTube channel called Insider. And basically what this YouTube channel does is they're like, oh, we talked about a weapon expert on, gunfights in movies. Oh, we talked to an actual former drug dealer on, how drug deals are portrayed in movies. Shit like that, right?
I enjoyed giving that interview.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can see you on Conkey Ave trying to buy a dime bag at 17. I'm sure that turned out real well. Probably walked out with piss all over the front of your... So anyway, they had Shelton Benjamin talking about wrestling scenes in movies. And now the examples that they gave are pretty... But I hate to use that word. I'm sorry. That was just an error on my part. It was pretty lame, but whatever. Fucking cancel us. I'm already canceled. It was cool because he made some really good points, and some of it seemed like WWE banter. So I'll give an example. One was he talked about Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire. He gets in the ring with Macho Man, right? And he, I got you for 3 minutes. And the one thing that he said...
I haven't seen that in a while. I really got to watch that again.
Oh, hell yeah. So the one thing he said, and it was fucking great, because Cornette has said this all the time, and Benjamin is a prodigy of Cornette. Cornette loves Benjamin, OVW guy. he talks about, he's like, yeah, you wouldn't want to start a feud with a cage match. That should be the blow off. You should. And I was like, oh, Tony Khan, maybe you should watch this video. And he just talks about, that's got to be your blow off match. That's got to be like the third match in the series. And he's like, and you can't have a 3-minute cage match. It has to go at least 20 minutes. And it was just cool to hear him break that shit down. It's like, wow, it is really refreshing to hear logic and common sense when it comes to wrestling. But then he said something else stupid. He's like, he did mention Lucha. I think it was Nacho Libre. And he's like, the luchador rules. He's like, there's just chaos. There's everybody in the ring at once, whatever. But then there was one thing. I think it was Shrek, which was fucking hilarious because there's like that 2-minute wrestling scene in Shrek.
Yeah.
And he says something about, he's like, oh, you can't do that if the ref's looking. If the ref's looking, he goes, it doesn't matter. He goes, they're going to disqualify you. It doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, dude. All right, fine.
It's funny because when you see in a lot of movies or TV shows when they have wrestling, like in
Boy Meets World.
And
Jinx.
things like that, it's basically a clothesline and hip tosses the whole time. There's not much other than that they do. Or splashes. Like, it's pretty much the same things over and over. Mm-hmm. It is interesting to hear that take, though, because especially for... It's funny, I got you for 3 minutes. Well, I mean, the whole point was who can last in the cage with this guy.
Right.
But, I digress, Benjamin.
Right, exactly. Yeah, splitting hairs at that point. But yeah, I'll on the break, I'll send you the link. Watch it when you can. Like I said, it's worth the watch. Some shit you're gonna be like, really, bro? Come on. But then, like I said, again, he just speaks with common sense, and
speaking of something that is worth a catch, Lil Jon, we haven't talked about him in a minute. He sent me. There is this guy. Look this up. I don't know his name, but it's called The Worst Professional Wrestling Promo of All Time. And you know which one I'm talking about. The guy in the silver jacket. He's like, I'm coming for you. Yep.
I saw that. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
He sent it to me the other day, and it's just worth a good laugh. If you guys want to have a nice giggle,
did he post it? Did he post it to our page? I feel like he did.
Oh, he might have. Then. Okay.
Because I remember seeing it. Yeah.
It's so good. All right, man. Well, it is the go-home show for WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw. And it's Nitro. And there's no pay-per-view, thank God. Let's go to the wars.
Marty, you've got to come back with me.
Where?
Back to the future.
Wait a minute, Doc. What are you talking about? What happens to us in the future? What, do we become assholes or something?
Give me a hell yeah! You want a war? You're going to get it.
Mick Foley is going to win their world title.
Has been paid for by the New World Order. Come on, Vince. Step into the ring.
My God, the battle lines have been drawn! D-Generation X invades WCW tonight! Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. Have a nice day! We got new work for ya!
I've had about all I can stand of these damn people.
Feelings mutual.
I guess you're gonna have to show them one more thing.
No.
Do what you want to.
Come on, we get the point. I can tell you one thing, when Kane and The Undertaker meet this Sunday on pay-per-view, it's going to be like Armageddon. What the hell? He's looking at one of our crew members. Oh, no! A lightning bolt has just struck that TV crew member. My God, he's on fire! No! The man's on fire!
Burn, baby, burn!
A human being is on fire!
It is the final, Raw before WrestleMania, and we are 6 days away. And it is going to be WrestleMania 14 in Boston. This is the only Boston WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about it. They have, it's funny when you really look as to how many matches they're promoting towards us. There's really not a whole lot on the card. I mean, like, right now, we in real life, or in real time right now, we're like 17 matches deep. They're like, here's 5. This is what we're going to give you. Just buy the pay-per-view. Here's all you need to know. But the same point, everybody was only buying it for the main event, which was Austin and Michaels. They're hyping the shit out of this on Raw. I love it. Let's run down the line. Might as well talk about Raw first.
Hit me again, Ike. All right. So it's March.
Put some steak on it.
March 23rd, 1998. We open up with a recap of Vince saying he doesn't want us to be champ, that whole segment. Yeah, you're right. They definitely do a good job of promoting what's coming up at Mania. You realize at the end that it's not a whole lot. We open up with Austin in a ring with Kevin Kelly. He's basically responding to Vince's promo last week, and he says, well, you can't mold Austin.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, you can't mold Austin. You can't break Austin. Kevin Kelly tells him that DX and Tyson's on their way to Arena in full force. Austin says, what are you, insulting me? Like, I give a shit. He says, I've got the night off, so I got a cooler of Steve Weiser's. I'm just going to go sit back there and wait for DX. Slaughter comes to the ring. Austin goes, don't ask for any beers because I didn't bring any for you.
I think that's the first time we've ever heard Steve Weiser's.
I agree. First time I've heard it.
That became a thing, though, because pretty sure he does it all the time, talking about, throw me back some Steve Weiser's. I don't think you could say Budweiser's. You'd have to probably pay him on TV, even though it's clearly what he was pretty much drinking.
Yeah.
Or no, was he a Coors guy?
Coors Light a lot.
It was Coors, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Slaughter says, he says, I don't have any beers for you. Well, you don't have the night off. You're going to wrestle. And Austin says, well, says who? Vince, who can't be here tonight? All right, well, you'll fight The Rock. If you don't wrestle, your match at Mania is going to be a non-title match. Naturally, Austin doesn't like that. What's the appropriate response? Hit him with another Stone Cold Stunner. Crowd is hot.
I have another question. Has he drank a beer?
I don't think he's done it yet on TV. I think he's talked about it.
He hasn't done one. I'm talking like in the ring, soaking the shit out of himself after winning.
Yeah, I
don't think
so.
He even does it at WrestleMania.
I don't think so either.
Huh. I'm interested to see the first time this happens, because as soon as it happens, I want to see what the crowd's reaction is like. If like that's the reason they kept it going, or I'm just realizing right now I haven't seen him do that.
Yeah. Fucking A. That's the fun, right?
It is.
So next you get Cactus and Chainsaw Charlie versus the Quebecers. The Outlaws come out to the top of the ramp. This was just, I think it was just the New Age Outlaws trying to be cute. They have a dumpster naturally. They're dressed in tuxes. They set up like a little table with a rose on it and some champagne. And Road Dogg's got a blow-up doll. Cactus sees him, starts heading up the ramp, but then heads back. And the Outlaws just run in. It's a DQ. They use the champagne bucket. They throw in that small little square table they were using. They smash it over Chainsaw Charlie's head. And Spike pile driver Cactus onto the chair. So just hyping up that match.
Look at you could. I get the dumpster hyping the match. Tuxedos and all that shit fell really short on me, and it was like, why are you guys wearing it? I don't know. Why not? Okay.
It was
all right. Well, enjoy.
It was the MacGuffin to have the excuse to have the table. Basically.
A million other ways you could have done it, but all right.
Yep, fair enough. Next you get Jeff Jarrett versus Steve Blackman. Blackman goes for a superplex, and Lee holds the ankle, so Jarrett falls on top of him into a pin, while Tennessee Lee holds Blackman's feet. Jeff Jarrett gets the win. Blackman gets the beat down.
How the fuck did you seriously start talking about this match and not mention that he rode Aubrey Edwards on the way into the ring?
That's a good trick. That's a good trick.
2 weeks in a
horse face.
2 weeks in a row, riding a horse to the ring in the dark. That's the other thing. This poor fucking horse is doing this shit in the dark.
Yep.
Because the only thing that can be lit up is his blinking double J jacket.
Yep.
Welcome back to 1995, folks.
Exactly.
It's exactly what it feels like with Jarrett right now.
Exactly.
Hey, great. And that wasn't even Tennessee Lee. That was the horse.
Yeah.
All
right. We get an ad saying that DX is going to hold a public workout in Boston this Thursday. Tyson's going to be there as well. All right. Wonder how that went.
Horse walks into a bar. Bartender says, why the long face?
Yeah, I gotcha. A priest, a pedophile, and an alcoholic walk into a bar. That's just the first guy.
Easy, son.
Who you called son? Don't call me son. Did you see that he retired? Yeah, that's right. You're not friends with him on Facebook. He's retired.
From wrestling?
Yeah. I thought you had to have a career to retire.
When you're not getting booked for anything, I guess it's easy to call a retirement. And you're like, you know what? He pulled a Davey Richards. Holy shit! He pulled a Davey Richards.
That's rough.
No, I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he beat Flamingo. I'm saying that he's not getting booked. Or all of a sudden he's like, I quit.
All right. Limo pulls
I swear
up
to God, I hope somewhere in Nitro someone gets fired and then quits.
Yeah. Well, Limo pulls up with DX and Tyson. They walk off, and then we get Taker's promo. I don't know, man. I hate it. I love Taker, but I just couldn't get down with this. He's in a graveyard, laying in front of his parents' grave, talking to him. Basically, he's given me no other choice.
Not laying down, but he's like,
it's the senior yearbook photo style.
Yes, I was just going to say the senior yearbook pose. Holy shit. Laying on your hip, you got one knee up in the air, and you're on your elbow. Oh, my shit.
It's the George Costanza underwear pose.
Oh, my God. Undertaker did the senior yearbook photo. Yes.
Oh, good shit. That's the best part about it, unfortunately. So, naturally, next we get a segment with Kane, with Bearer. Bearer says Kane has the same powers as Taker. Show him. Kane does the whole lightning trick, and then he calls out commentary. They shoot a lightning bolt at the desk. The monitor blows up. And then Bearer's like, that spotlight's been in my eyes all night. I mean, ignore the fact we've been backstage, but that's still been blinding me all night, so take it out. Lightning bolt to the fucking spotlight. And I'm tired of these fans. Let's show them one more thing. And then shoots a lightning bolt at a cameraman who catches on fire.
Which is the sounds that you were listening to, obviously.
There you go.
Before we got in here. If you were like, what the fuck is going on with all these explosions?
Yep. Skull and 8-Ball next versus the new Midnight Express. Cole is fucking creaming in his pants about the fucking motorcycles. He will not shut up about the motorcycles. I'm wondering if they had a deal with it. It was like some custom shop or something. He just would not shut the fuck up.
They're just so beefy. Look at these motorcycles. They have giant spark plugs.
This is basically just a plot device to set up the 15 tag team battle royale that's going to be at Mania. So Headbangers come to the ring, then the Rock and Roll, then Sniper and Recon, then Savio and Miguel, then the Quebecers, then Jesus and Jose, and they all start brawling. Meanwhile, the fans are chanting LOD. Well, LOD doesn't show up. Okay.
So, that's... Oh, okay. It's really funny that people are chanting LOD, considering the fact that they broke up like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's funny considering what's going to happen the Monday after Mania.
No, we're talking about at Mania.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Kayfabe, it was goddamn 25 years ago.
Yeah.
As they're having all the teams come in, all of a sudden they just have LOD show up, and it's like it was the biggest return and reuniting of all time. I'm like, they just broke up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
That's like, hey, guys, you know what? Sarah, she's a skank. I'm done with her. 2 weeks later, hey guys, Sarah and I are coming over for game night. What should we bring? Fuck.
Pretty much. All right, we're heading into the war zone. DX and Tyson go to the ring. Triple H pulls up the footage from last week where Chyna took out Owen's ankle. He tells Owen not to show at Mania. And this is one of the more famous DX segments with a fan that specifically gets called out by Shawn Michaels, who is like eagerly trying to get over the barricade. Security has their arm around her waist the entire time because she's like leaning over and almost falling over the guardrail. She's wearing a DX tank top, and let's just say that she is has a smattering of tatters, to say the least.
Some fullies, man.
It was good old Chesty LaRue in the audience. And the best part is, so he does the famous line, do you have two nipples for a dime? Are you a double or triple DX? And she knows, triple! And then Shawn Michaels goes, and to all you guys who are chanting, don't worry, that's a skank, and we realize that.
You know, much like the word twat or the C word, when it's used right, it's great. And skank was properly used.
It was indeed. It was indeed. My mic stand is like falling apart here, so I'm holding the mic for the rest of this episode.
Is that what's going on? I was like, yo, there's like a giant snake hanging down in
so
front all of a sudden.
I apologize for any background noises. So anyway, Shawn Michaels cuts a promo on Austin and Vince. He goes, you know, guys, we already have a cat fight at WrestleMania. The last thing we need is for you two chicks to be slapping around each other. We start getting Austin chants. He says, Tyson, what are you going to do if Austin's out of line? I'm going to knock him the fuck out.
No, he doesn't say fuck. He goes, I'm going to knock him the out.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like he was going to say it. But also with that, what I liked is the who is going to beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. You are Heartbreak. Who is going to remain the WWF champion? You are Heartbreak. He kept like 5 answers in a row was you are Heartbreak, and then what are you going to do if Stone Cold gets out of line? I'm going to knock him out. God, again, I still remember all this, and every time he was on Raw, guaranteed Tuesday morning, he was on SportsCenter, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved this era. I was like, all right, everybody's going to start liking wrestling.
Yeah, that was a short-lived dream. Probably bet for the best anyway.
You are ODM.
Next, you get a quick thing from Jennifer Flowers. And you get Farouk versus Chains. Farouk tells the nation to head to the back, but eventually Rock comes out with a chair. They bring up in commentary that if The Rock gets DQ'd at Mania, he's going to lose the title. That's supposed to be preventing Nation from getting involved. Rock gets into the ring, looks like he's about to use the chair, and Farouk's and the refs stop him. And he says, "Fuck it anyway." He takes a swing and he hits Farouk, clearly on purpose. He calls the Nation down to the ring to help, and he's doing the whole fake. Oh God, what an idiot I am! Oh man, I can't. Oh, and they carry Farouk to the back. Next, you get Yup. Barry Windham with Jim Cornette versus Bradshaw. Rock and Roll are in the crowd at ringside. They distract Cornette. It allows Bradshaw to get the roll up, but Windham beats down Bradshaw post match and the Midnight Assist. The new Midnight. Next. They're presenting the Raw Magazine Award to Sable and Sonny because it's the highest grossing magazine they've ever put out.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
Say it.
Can I say it? And the presenter is Vince Russo.
Who, in all fairness, was
as soon as I saw the mullet and glasses,
Yeah.
I go, well, we're not skipping a goddamn thing.
they already tried the Vic Venom promo with him. He is, and I don't even want to say fairness, but he is the chief editor of the Raw magazine. So I mean that part does make sense. They say Sonny's under the weather. That's probably another way to say we don't need you in the ring for this. They give Sonny a plaque, and Luna comes in and beats the shit out of Sonny with the plaque and rips her dress off. And that's that.
Out of Sable.
Sable.
You said
yeah,
that.
Sorry.
Beat out of
yeah.
Sonny.
Well, Sonny wasn't there, so Sable.
And there's a reason Sonny's not there. She shows up with LOD. You have to save her off to the side. Like everybody was off TV for years, when in reality it was 1 to 2 weeks.
Yep, there you go.
Job well done.
So we got our main event. It's Rock versus Austin. One of those things. It's like, I think they've already fought, but just, seeing them in these personas now, I think for the first time, this is really the first time they've gone head to head as, these people. So pretty cool. Austin takes out Mark Henry on the floor. Austin ends up winning with a stunner. Then D'Lo runs in. He eats a stunner. DX music hits. They come out to the ramp. HBK says, "I've turned your lights out twice with Sweet Chin music at Mania. I'm going to do it for the last time." Shawn looks like he's going to go to the ring, starts taking his jacket off. Triple H stops him, and we'll see you Sunday on the pay-per-view.
I'm excited.
Yeah. We know. We know
and
what
it's going
happens.
It's going to be X-rated.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been on the fucking on the logo that they're putting up. You know, it was fucking hilarious because, you know, it's your favorite.
I was expecting a big smattering, but
yeah, well, you know, it's no uncensored, that's for sure. There was, you know, they put up the little graphic with the WrestleMania logo spinning, and it's your favorite song playing behind it, right? And it's and it's so funny when they put up Kane versus Undertaker. Here you've got this big supernatural matchup with this fucking 80s music playing in the background. It doesn't go together. They could have changed the music up for that
weird, weird porno when you hear that music going at the same time with one guy wearing the S&M mask and the other one. Never mind. Let's talk about Nitro.
Yeah, let's talk about Nitro.
I'm ruining wrestling.
The show opens with Piper's music. He's in ring with Mean Gene. He said he's been, Gene says, you've been on a mountain in Oregon pontificating. I was constipated. And then Piper does Piper. He just goes batshit crazy. They're in Louisville, so he says, it's the home of the Louisville Slugger. Swing, bada, bada, swing. That is the reoccurring theme of tonight. I'm not going to say it every time they said it. Piper says he was asked to come out here as a consultant. The NWO is getting out of control, and actually so is the WCW. There's not going to be any more bats in WCW. The fans boo. Gene says, that's great news. And then Piper says, well, until April 19th. We will suspend a bat above the ring and get the Giant as my partner. We're going to take on Hogan and Nash. It's the first ever bat match.
But it's not going to be like a baseball bat. It's going to be like a one with wings.
Yes, yeah. Dracula. Yeah, pretty much. Giant has a big heart. He needs to get nasty. I'm going to smash Nash and giving Hogan a new slogan. Okay. And tonight, put the Giant and Nash in the ring and let them fight it out to see who the real Giant is. Savage, you're out of control, and you and Hogan, you're acting like ex-lovers. Piper says he's going to face Savage tonight, and one of my favorite Piper lines, when I'm good, I'm good. When I'm bad, I'm better. Next, you get Chavo with Eddie Guerrero versus Ultimo Dragon. Dragon wins. Eddie's all pissed off. Gene goes in the ring post-match. Eddie's like, hey, man, you disappointed me. I'm giving you all this advice and everything. You're not listening to me. You need to apologize for this. Hey, you need to apologize to Grandma. he like points at the hard cannon. Chavo fucking apologizes to Grandma. Eddie goes, I got a match against another Japanese wrestler, probably better than the one that you fought earlier, so I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay, we'll see where that goes. Next, naturally, it wouldn't be the first hour if Hogan and Bischoff don't come to the ring. Hogan says he's not afraid of Giant or Piper, with or without the bat. There's a sign in the crowd, which is great. It says, Hogan fears Rogaine. Apparently he does, because he never used that shit.
Mike, he's been fearing it for years, man.
100%. Hogan says he likes the idea of a bat match. He keeps referring to Piper as the midget. Yeah, and that's that. Gene's on the ramp pushing the hotline, and we go to Scott Steiner with Buff. Looks like we're starting to build up to having Buff as a sidekick, which I gotta admit, I'm a mark for that stuff. It's fucking hilarious because they're clowns. He's facing Wayne Bloom, who is Mike Enos's recent tag team partner. On the way down the ramp, Buff pulls out a tape measure, measures Scott Steiner's biceps, 28 inches. Jesus fucking Christ. Think about that. Think about that.
Jesus.
Steroids are a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
For the first time, Scott has Big Papa Pump on the back of his tights. Fucking great. Steiner wins. Then you get Tony Schiavone as the camera's panning the crowd. All right, let's go to Mean Gene. We're not going to Gene. Okay. They dropped the ball on that one. We get Lodi versus Psychosis. Lodi has a sign that says, I am Luchador Lodi. Psychosis wins. We're going into hour 2 here. This, much like AEW, it's so funny how similar AEW and WCW are. They just, in a sea of polished turds, you find a diamond. Which is interesting because hour 2 opens up with Diamond Dallas Page versus Sting for the world title. Oh,
this right here would have been a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're just going to do it out of nowhere on Nitro. And, man, it was... All right, go ahead. Talk about it.
All right, so they mentioned that DDP... So DDP comes out, he's not wearing the U.S. title, which I was confused until commentary did their job and said, well, yeah, DDP was on MTV on Thursday. Raven jumped him and took the title. Oh, okay.
It was on MTV Live, and in 1998, I am pretty sure within about the next year, that's when like TRL comes out. I think this was pre Total Request Live.
Gotcha.
Where they would bring celebrities in, have countdowns to music videos and shit.
Right.
And they show a piece of it, and then so it's kind of I remembered actually hearing and seeing about it. Didn't actually obviously see it live because I had better things to do than watch MTV all day. But kind of funny that they brought them into there, because also at the same time, Tyson is on every goddamn news outlet. So they're like, what can we do to get our name out there too?
Right. Yeah, I did notice that the ring crew didn't do a very good job tonight because the canvas was loose as fuck. You could keep seeing it bunch up under their feet. Weird. At one point, they're throwing shit. Fans are still throwing shit in WCW. A lighter ends up in the ring, which is hilarious. Sting is able to fend off a cutter and reverses it into a death drop. This was cool. Okay, they opened up hour 2 with it. Even though they didn't fucking tease it, which they should have. It was a good match. There were no run-ins. It had lots of energy. The crowd was on top of their feet. I mean, why couldn't they do this more consistently? Sting helps DDP up. Sting throws up the Diamond Cutter sign. They hug, and DDP holds up Sting's hands. I mean, solid little segment here. Again, yeah, they should have fucking promoted it more. It could have been safe per pay-per-view, but to open up hour 2, I don't think it was terrible.
I liked how Sting was in the corner doing the Diamond Cutter.
Yeah.
The Diamond Cutter sign. It was just, I don't know, it was
respect.
A cool sign of respect, and I'm like, oh my God, why are we not doing this? I'm like, we keep focusing on this stupid Hogan and NWO shit so much, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. But yeah, it was a breath of fresh air to watch on Nitro for once. I was like, oh, okay, I'm interested.
I know, right? Imagine that. Next, you get Rick Fuller versus Lex Luger. Luger wins. Eddie, so yeah, it's basically Rick Fuller's another big guy, so it's the whole thing. Oh, can he rack him? Can he rack him? Oh, how did he lift him? And that's pretty much Luger's matches when it's not involved in storyline. So now Eddie has his match, and that better Japanese wrestler than Ultimo Dragon is Kaz Hayashi, naturally. Hayashi does a tope suicida and almost breaks his goddamn legs because they did it on the short side of the floor where the railing was right there, the barricade.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was fucking close. Eddie wins. He has Chavo raise his hand, and Dragon comes out to check on Hayashi. Eddie runs down Chavo, saying, "Why did you open the ropes for Dragon? Why'd you let him in here? Why didn't you beat the shit out of him?" So we're probably going to be teasing towards that tag team match. Next, since they barely use him on TV, it seems they did a video package on Bret Hart.
I got excited. I was like, oh, cool. Bret's going to come out soon.
And then they do a Conan video package. Obviously, he's picking up steam. And you know what the best way to capitalize on the steam that Conan is picking up and the fact that you just played a video package hyping him up? Have him lose to Prince Iaukea.
For no reason whatsoever.
For no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Way too early for him to have lost a match.
Yep.
On the uprise of what you're doing right now, the whole Hoovy thing, joining NWO, seeing that he has a lot of mic skills, they're letting him go. I mean, 2 years ago, if you remember, he was a U.S. champion.
Yep. Yeah.
But he wasn't talking much.
Yeah.
But now, he's awesome. And they're like, yeah, how about you just lose to Prince Iaukea?
Yep. Unceremoniously. No follow-up, nothing. I thought there would be a beatdown. I thought there'd be a promo afterwards. Nothing. They literally just went to break.
Rolled out of the ring and said goodnight, folks, to the crowd.
Pretty much. Let's see here. Next, Jericho comes to the ring, and then Lenny Lane interrupts. If you don't remember, Lenny Lane faced Jericho a few weeks back, and I was like, wow, that looks just like Chris Jericho. Lenny Lane is telling Jericho that he owes him $1,000 because you said if I wore your gear and we double-crossed Malenko, you'd pay me. I don't remember that. Maybe that was on a Thunder episode.
Could have just been backstage, maybe, and they're just bringing it out.
And Jericho goes, "Hey, no way, man! You took my gear. You wear it. I can't wear that shit anymore. You know, you went through my bag. My Loverboy tape is missing. I'm not even going to get into that." I thought that was pretty fucking good.
Everybody is working for the weekend.
Jericho says, "You know what? Matter of fact, now that I think about it, you owe me $1,000. I want it right now. Let me have it." And Lenny Lane says, "Well, fine. Here it is." And he slaps Jericho. It turns into a match which Jericho naturally wins. Hooray. That brings us to hour 3. It's Hogan and Nash versus the Giant in a handicap match. And wouldn't you know, the Disciple interferes. Giant choke slams Bischoff. The best part of this match is when the Giant puts his hand around Bischoff's throat, Tenay fucking busts a nut. Tenay just goes, "Yeah! Yeah!"
Cut over to him, his hands down his pants.
Next,
Ew.
Yeah. Next, you
firing
get
himself over at the announcer's booth.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, we got another train.
Oh, I heard it. Yeah. Oh, I was just about to start. There it goes. I'll fucking kill you. Anyway, next we get Chris Benoit versus Booker T for the TV title. This is fucking one of those instances where they use, like, you know, I don't want to say a plot device, but, you know, just something that we don't see a lot, and it was just unceremonious, and it fell flat. Towards the end of the match, the bell just randomly rings, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It takes them 5 minutes to explain it, which another reason I think it fell flat. But basically, it's a TV title match. TV title matches have a time limit of 10 minutes. 10 minutes expired. Mm-hmm. By the time they explained it, it just took the piss out of it. You know, they could
it did take
commentary.
time.
Yeah, commentary could have easily just called that out. Oh, well, we hit the 10-minute time. They fucking dragged it out too long. So it is what it is. And then again, they just moved on.
Do you know where it leads to?
Can't say I do.
I'm just fucking full of spoilers today, so I'm pretty sure they're going to announce it like on Thunder. This is going to lead to a best of 7 series for this TV title.
Ooh.
Very infamous Benoit, Booker T, best of 7 series.
Can't say I even remember that.
We just had one recently with Omega and Elite in Death Triangle, but this was a good one.
Yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro was good too.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, Cesaro almost died, or was it Sheamus that almost died on that one?
Both.
Yeah, yeah, no shit, right?
Especially when they both got together and had to face Nicholas at WrestleMania.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. Let's try to forget that. Well, at least we got to see Cesaro smash the beach ball, so. Kurt Hennig with Rick Rude versus Bulldog. Rude joins commentary, and it was so great. Because the brain's like, "Hey, Rick, how you doing? How you been?" He's like, "It's good to see you, Bobby." It was just great. I mean, how could you not love that? Rude's just giving a history lesson on Hennig and himself and their parents. Rude goes back to the ring. He grabs Bulldog's ankle, but Bulldog stomps on his hand. Rude gets on the apron. He handcuffs Bulldog to the rope. It's a DQ. Commentary puts it over as this is a message to Brett. So naturally, Brett comes out and makes the save. Puts the sharpshooter on Hennig. Brian Adams runs in. So does most of the NWO. Brett fights him off. Brett gets on the mic. He goes, "Nobody knows what I like. Nobody like I knows what it's like to be screwed. Brett screwed Brett? I don't think so. When I'm in the building and I see injustice, I'm going to make sure no one has to go through what I did." So apparently he's a fucking superhero now.
It's the first time he's brought up the Brett screwed Brett thing from from Vince, at least.
Right. Yeah, 100%. All right, we get a flashback.
You would think they would capitalize big on that part right now.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think so. We get a flashback to Thunder. Rick Steiner gets jumped by the NWO, and Goldberg makes the save and cleans house. So naturally, Goldberg's up next against Renegade. It was about a minute long, which was what it needed to be.
Mama, I'm in fear for my life.
It's really the only stick song I can get down with.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. All right, main event. There is another deep cut. I forget the name of it, though. We'll figure that out another time. Macho vs. Piper is your main event. Liz gets involved. Piper grabs her by the hair and says, "Where are the pills?" No, he actually kisses Liz. Gets a pop. Liz takes a shitty-looking bump off the apron to the floor. Ref checks on her. This is a shit show. Hogan comes to the ring and takes out the ref. Nash is there with a bat. He's about to use it on Piper. Hogan stops him. Nash shoves Hogan. Macho powders. Sting shows up with a bat. Macho attacks Sting. Nash and Hogan jump Piper. Giant takes the bat from Macho and Hogan, and the faces stand tall in the ring. Good night, folks.
A lot more downs and ups, I have to say, when it comes to watching Nitro. It's a lot of filler. I think they really shot themselves in the obvious foot by doing 3 hours. No need for it.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, not all things can be winners, right? But you know what is a winner? This week's movie of the week. Train is still going. That kid is still on the escalator. No. Not talking mall rats. No. This week, am bringing up I would have to use this maybe under the term cult classic.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Only a few of us have drank the Kool-Aid enough to actually watch this movie. But it is something I was introduced to. It came out in 1991 was its release, and listen, I'm going to give you the cast first. And I kind of brought it up a couple weeks ago, but maybe you caught it, maybe you didn't. But, you got Chevy Chase. You got Demi Moore. You have Dan Aykroyd, John Candy. I think we're already off to a good start, right?
Oh, yeah.
A very young Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm. And Humpty.
And Humpty himself. And we are talking about the Oscar award-winning classic, Nothing But Trouble. And by Oscar award-winning, I mean pretty much only by my standards and no one else in the entire world. This movie, if you want to say, is probably a horrible movie that is so horrible, it's great. And this is, again, as we talked about, your weird ups and downs, but many downs and sideway turns when it comes to that Cabin in the Woods movie. So, Nothing But Trouble. Let's get real with what it really is about. It is about a man by the name of Chris Thorne. Now, he is a very big publisher for, I believe, Times Magazine, something like that. Thorne's Weekly, for the big paper, whatever it is. He's known to talk about finance. He's a financial publisher. And while he's hosting a big party in his penthouse, he ends up meeting this lady, and her name is Diane, and this is played by Demi Moore. And she is upset. She's got to get her way to Atlantic City the next day, and he happens to be heading up that way and said, well, I'd be happy to drive you if you need. And after he has his night there, he goes to bed. Wakes up the next day, the car attendant, your valet guy, is outside, and he's talking to him. He goes, hey, could you just let her know I'm too hungover? I can't do this. And then Demi comes downstairs dressed to the nines, ready to go, looking fantastic in this white dress, and he goes, keys, Banaka, or whatever it was, giving it a little quick spray to the mouth. Just as they're ready to leave, in walk, I'm going to have to get the names right on this. It's Fausto and Ronaldo Squirrinzu, or Shinzu, something like that.
Who are you calling a Jew?
So they are Brazilian clients of Chevy Chase.
And annoying. They hate them.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And he was like, but you're going to Atlantic City? Chris, we're going to go with you, man. Let's go. And they load up everything in the car. They get in. And he goes, here, Chris, put this tape on, man. Puts a cassette tape in. Let's chonga. We're already off to a great start with this, right? And so while they're on the road, everybody's just shooting the shit. They're just, eating. Funny enough, is he's using Chevy Chase is using an electric shaver while he's driving. I love that part. But he just kind of rolls through a stop sign in a town where they finally show you the sign, Vulcanvania. And, while they're going through, all of a sudden the cop lights and siren hits, and even the old speaker, we need you to pull over to the side of the road. And Fausto in the back, Chris, you got a BMW, lose him. And they start just driving recklessly, and he's trying to leave him. And they finally get caught up with your cop, John Candy. Okay, not bad. So we're in Vulcanvania here, and he goes, well, sir, you're going to have to go to the town reeve, the justice of the peace, to plead your case right now, and, you'll be on your way. So you have to follow behind John Candy, and his partner will follow behind you, which is, oh man, what is her name? I'm going to forget it right now, but she's been in, Valerie Broomfield. She plays Miss Perda. You and I talked about her. She was in Who's Harry Crumb as well.
Yep.
So, gets to this god-awful, what looks like a dump, like an abandoned place where you just bring all your trash. One of my favorite parts is you see like just a statue of a dolphin. He goes, huh? This must be where Flippers died, and the Brazilians in back go, Flippers dead, which is still one of my favorite parts for some reason. And then it says no cussing, and he goes, shit. So they're going through, and they finally get in, and they meet a 106-year-old judge, played by Dan Aykroyd, and his name is Judge Alvin. Okay. He's real, just raggedy looking, but then he kind of seems like he's okay, all right, and then he's kind of pleading his case, or Chevy Chase is pleading his case with him. We were just speeding. He goes, let me get everybody's ideas here. And he goes, and you are? He goes, Chris Thorne, Thorne's Weekly. He goes, banker. No, I'm a financial publisher. Okay, banker. And he likes to keep calling him a banker. He hates bankers. And then he goes, well, we'll get you out of here in a couple of days. And Chevy Chase starts running his mouth in every way like he's ever done and everything else, right? And boom, the floor opens and they just drop down into a basement that has all these squeak toys, which is hysterical. As they're moving, you just hear a bunch of squeak toys, like dog chew toys. So Chevy Chase and Demi Moore are arguing with each other. The Brazilians are pissing them off. So John Candy says, all right, I'm going out. I'm going to go out for a smoke. He leaves, and while he's out, he pulls over these thugs. Now this is going to get a little weirder for you guys. Here we go. The one thug, played by Daniel Baldwin, one of the Baldwins, right? Love this part. Yeah. They are clearly on something. They're like more than alcohol. They're all fucked up. And he has him get out of the car. And he goes, you seem like you're drunk, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to blow. And he goes, blow you to get out of a ticket? No way. And I'm like, I love that line. I've always wanted to say it to a cop.
Yeah, don't do that.
No. But like Daniel Baldwin pulls like a 6-shot little pistol or revolver out into his face, and then Candy pulls out a double mag kind of machine gun to his face. Gets him back to the courthouse, or with the reeve, the justice of the peace there, and he meets all these drunk people end up meeting Judge Alvin. And it gives them just a little bit different of a treatment because of how they're acting. They don't give a shit. And it's funny. And he goes, let's see, you got your knives, your guns, your pills, your spoons, your crack cocaine, your pot, which is hysterical. And then he goes, everybody step on up to the bench. And then he hits a button and they all take off on a, what do you call it? Like a fast moving floor slide. Yeah. I almost like a treadmill, if you will. And they all slide into this kind of like a roller coaster ride. And that's exactly what it is. And it's Bone Crusher. And as they go through this entire thing, they go through a spot where all they do is get chomped up, and all you see is all their bones come flying out into a giant pile filled with bones. We may only be about 30 minutes into this movie, which is fantastic. It gets weirder because now one of the sheriffs, that lady, comes down. Get on up here for supper. They all go up for supper, where Judge Alvin is lowered down in his chair, and they're all at a giant table where they have a train that passes around all your sides, hors d'oeuvres, all the little things. Kind of funny. And they go, okay, well, she's going to be bringing in the food. And you go, it's dogs. We're having dogs. They're serving dog? No, hot dogs. Prize winners. Oh, yeah. Watching him eat a hot dog is hysterical. And then comes out his granddaughter, Eldona, who is played by John Candy.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. So now John Candy's at 2 roles. We're off to a good start, liking that. Good for him. And then, as they're having dinner, Fausto, the Brazilian guy, gets pissed off because Judge Alvin stops the train that's going around and flicks a pickle at his head. And he goes, I have to get out of here. Me and my sister. The whole time I thought this was his wife, I think, at first, when you first start watching this movie, but they're brother and sister. I will not have my sister sit at a table with a pickle flinging thing. And they leave, they get out of there, and to get out of the place, as they're running through, they have to go through an entire shit gully. And they keep going, it's Sao Paulo. And they all have to go through that, where they meet John Candy on the other side, who helps them now escape. So now all they have left are Chevy Chase and Demi Moore. And now all of a sudden, while they're hanging in their bedroom, a door opens. Well, that can't be trustworthy. Well, let's go through it anyway, because it's like, I don't know, it's a really crazy, I don't know. I don't even know what you kind of compare this movie to.
You can't.
You can't. And then they're in the hallway, and all of a sudden the wall just starts coming from one side to the other, ready to squish them up against a wall. Chevy Chase pulls her into a room, and they finally go up to this attic where they see nothing but licenses and clippings, like newspaper clippings of people who had probably been here before. One being Jimmy Hoffa. And they're all bankers. That was another thing. They see a door open. It's a slide. They both go down a slide. The downfall is as Demi Moore goes down left, he hits right in the center and does a flip and goes down another complete route. And when he does, he ends up right next to Judge Alvin's bedroom, looking in with a peephole. Judge Alvin takes his hair off, then sits at the mirror, looking pretty much right where Chevy Chase is, looks at the mirror and goes, was a good-looking fella. And then rips his nose off. He has like a prosthetic nose over his face, and all you see is just like the bone. It's really fucking gross. And I failed to mention earlier, in case I forgot, his nose is shaped like what, ODM?
I would say very close to a dong.
Very close. It is the entire mushroom head is the end of his nose. For some reason, this prosthetic nose is a dick. It's never even mentioned. It's just seen. Now, Demi Moore, on the other hand, goes, oh my God, there's the car, the Beamer, yes. But it's dead. And she walks over and finds these 2 disgusting guys who look like they should have been in the movie The Whale. They are named Bobo and Little Debo. They are grandsons of Alvin, and they're not allowed in the house. They have oil all over them. They're sweaty looking. They look like giant, huge, fat man babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing just diapers and have bald heads with a little bit of hair on top. And in case you didn't know that, or in case you thought John Candy's the only one playing 2 roles, Dan Aykroyd is Bobo. They end up just playing cards with her, so not too much. But then now we go back to that other cop that's still left because John Candy took off. And she brings in her next victims that she has pulled over. Digital Underground, featuring Humpty himself, Tupac Shakur, and the rest of the band. fine-looking women. And at this point, Aldona has captured Chevy Chase and has been kind of hanging with him for the last little bit. And the judge has been like, I think you should marry my granddaughter. But first, he has to deal with this gang, this rap group, and he doesn't know what they're really like. And he starts talking to him, and he goes, so you're a gang? No, man, we're a hip-hop group. Oh, well, bring your instruments in. I got to see what you guys are all about. And they start playing All Around the World, Same Song. Fucking love that jam. And then, as they're really getting in, you got Humpty doing his part. You got Tupac singing. Dan Aykroyd all of a sudden hits a button. This goddamn grand piano comes out from behind him, a huge organ, and he starts playing the solo to this song.
Exactly.
What the fuck is going on in this movie? Is it a drama? Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? Because I'm seeing everything. And now these guys are going to play the wedding of Chevy Chase and Aldona. Again, Aldona, John Candy's second part, the granddaughter. We see that as she's coming down in a wedding dress. I love it. Boom, boom, boom. We tie the knot. Tie the knot. And I loved it because after he says yes or whatever, Digital Underground's trying to leave, and I think it was Humpty goes, it's okay, man, I was nervous on my wedding night too. But Alvin's pissed off at how Chevy Chase acted in front of him, and he goes, you embarrassed me in front of my granddaughter. Sends him into Bone Crusher, and somehow escapes it. He's the only man that goes all the way through. Like, the fan belt broke just at the right time so he could get through and not get his bones crushed, falling in all of the giant stack of bones. But now, Aldona has now captured Demi Moore and has set her up to a giant plank on the ground, or like a big flat bed. And she is about to crush her with like 3 huge giant, I don't know, like snow blades that you would have on a plow. Something, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And just as she's about to get killed, Chevy Chase saves her. They go back to Jersey or to New York and start into Manhattan and explain this to the cops. And they're like, you got to be kidding me. This seems really weird, but yeah, we're with you. So it should be the end, right? They get there with the cops, the SWAT, I mean everything. Alvin opens the door wearing a bib that has like stains all over it. And he goes, who are you? Why are you bothering an old man? I was like, and he goes, Chevy Chase is like, that's it. You're caught. You're done. And he goes, you should look behind you. And all the cops just go, hi, Alvin. They're all cool about it. But the problem is, this house, this land is on an old oil mining field that have explosions randomly. And, well, it finally is caving in. And just as they all get out of there, Chevy Chase and Demi Moore are finally safe. They're back at their apartment. He's seeing on TV, on the news, they're showing that Vulcanvania is completely done. But they go, but we do have a man over here who did survive, and he's rummaging through his things. And he goes, oh, that's okay. We're going to go live with my grandson-in-law. Because he's married to Aldona now. See you soon, banker! I need a fucking sequel.
This is almost as screwy as the ending to Blazing Saddles.
Dude, it's just such a weird movie, and I look at it's not like if you really want to watch a movie, you probably would have stopped this already and not listened. But there's just so many random things. I mean, from John Candy playing 2 parts, Aykroyd playing 2 parts, Bobo and Little Devil are a little weird, but then all of a sudden you got Tupac making his on-screen debut. I think this is no.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think this is before Juice, around the time of Juice. Yeah, it's just excellent movie. Excellent movie. Demi got Actress of the Year. Actually, no, John Candy took that for Aldona.
Jesus. Oh, no, it's fun. Like I said, I'm totally going to try to watch this again. I might even try to watch it today.
I think I'm going to have to as well, just to rewatch it. And, and I'm sure I probably skipped some crazy parts and fun parts, but that's the best part of this movie, is just the ups and downs, the twists and turns. The sarcasm of Chevy Chase, just like in any other movie. It's just so good. I don't know. Something about the judge, you're rooting for him in a weird way. Even though he's like a clear, like, just piece of shit at killing people. You're like, what else is he going to do? And all of a sudden, just like I said, just starts playing the organ in the middle of All Around the World. I love it. I have that.
Yeah,
I love that song.
No, it's a good tune. It's a classic. Yeah, I don't even think Tupac...
Now I clown around when I hang around with
I don't
the
even think
underground.
Tupac was Tupac at this point. He was just a cast member of the Underground, pretty much.
No, they call him in this. He goes, while I rock this, Tupac's gonna shakalaka this.
No, I'm sure his name was Tupac, but I mean, I don't think he's the star that everybody knows.
Oh, no. He's just,
yeah.
no. He's the,
okay.
Whoever else was in D12 with Eminem. Everybody that was in D12.
This is, you ever see a movie called Freaked? It has the guy from Bill and Ted. It's not Keanu Reeves. It's the other guy. He's in it. Randy Quaid plays some mad scientist who, like, injects people with, like, radioactive material to turn them into freak shows for his personal freak show that he charges admission to. It's another up the alley with this, with less famous people in it. You're gonna have to watch that. That's gonna have to be a movie of the week.
Toss it on the list. Pick them up.
Pick them up.
It's been a fun one. I am excited because next week it's going to be our go-home show for WrestleMania. And what's big about this one is we're bringing you not only in our top topic, are we going to bring you our own predictions, but let's be honest, some of them, I think the writing is on the wall with pretty much a lot of the matches as to how they're going to play out. I don't see Edge losing. I don't see Asuka losing. I don't see Rhea Ripley losing. But then again, wrestling. But next week, it's funny how things can be interpreted. Last week, there was a thing that began through a tweet where someone said, take certain matches of every WrestleMania and make the ultimate card. I think it was that Sap guy, whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided to make our own version. So I said to you, ODM, let's make the greatest WrestleMania card. You make yours, I'll make mine. You can only use each wrestler once. You can only, but it has to be matches from the past. And then you told me one of your matches, and I was like, bro, that never has happened. Like, ever. And I think you and I realized that interpretation, you went fantasy. I went taking a real all-time WrestleMania card. So guess what? We're doing that. Next week, we're showing you both. Not both of ours each. I'm going to be doing the all-time WrestleMania card of matches that have existed, and ODM is putting together the all-time fantasy WrestleMania card. We've both presented our cards to each other already. I'm excited about this. It's actually going to be a fun show next week. It's all WrestleMania. I'll be having that the entire time going. I'm excited for next week. Hope you guys are too, because it's WrestleMania, baby. I am the professor. I bid you a farewell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ODM.
My Loverboy tape is missing. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM, the Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks. It's in the air.
It is in the air.